Good morning, Big Square Roto.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. It's a good day. It's a good day in the crypto world for the people looking for a bottom. Yes, it's been very difficult. It's always difficult. It's even difficult at the highs. You're looking back. I remember back in December thinking, "Oh my God, it's gone too high too fast." When it went from Bitcoin went from 6,000 to 20,000, and from November to December, and then something comes over you. You have to make a decision: should I sell, or am I a hodler? Do I believe in the future? And I remember thinking, I don't care what happens. You don't really believe it, but you're saying, I know this is the future. I know I don't plan on selling it next year or the year after or the year after. It's not an investment to me. It's an investment in the future form of money, in the future form of how to participate in an economic system. That's the way I've always looked at it. I think most hodlers look at it that way. So I do remember that time thinking, okay, fine, if it goes down to 90%, would I really care? Because I plan on hodling for the future. And I thought that in when it went to 10,000, and then it went up to 20,000. And people are really earning their money, earning their cryptos who bought it, in mid-December. And that's part of the journey. You learn that this is volatile, massively manipulated, massively manipulated, both up and down. But it is our future, and it will solve the biggest problem that humanity has had for the last 100 years, is how do we go from the old system, a corrupt system, central banking system run by criminals within the banks, to a system that is more honest, more fair, more free, and run by nobody, run by all of us, and not centralized. Any coin that is centralized is going to have problems unless they're a business. Businesses are centralized. So if it's a blockchain that's centralized, good luck. If it's a business that's centralized, yes, all businesses are centralized. They got to control their business. Anyway, so let's talk the announcement by MtGox Trustee. It's gigantic. Remember, the MtGox Trustee was involved in this latest manipulation. They were involved in bringing the price down. Now, the question of whether they were involved in the entire plan, the plan to bring it up and then bring it down, I don't know if they were involved. They were definitely involved in the plan to bring it down. And it could be that the bad guys were bringing it up to destroy the system, implement their one world currency, pick their crypto, which I talk about, I've been talking about lately, their centralized crypto platform that can do everything for you. And the good guys took them out using the trustee, using various tools. Clearly, both were manipulated. Were they manipulated by the same people, or were they manipulated by different people fighting each other? I don't know. But this news that the MtGox is to enter civil rehabilitation is a major win for creditors. And creditors of the defunct Bitcoin exchange MtGox just won a big victory. According to a Friday release from MtGox trustee Nabuki Kobayashi, the exchange's ongoing bankruptcy proceedings have been paused, and a civil rehabilitation process will commence. We've been waiting for this. The Tokyo District issued an order on June 22nd approving a petition to begin civil rehabilitation, which was initially submitted in November of last year. Those seeking to recoup funds from the exchange, once the world's largest by trade volume before it was dramatically collapsed in 2014, resulting in hundreds of millions of dollars in losses, could see the money sometime in the next year as the civil rehabilitation process moves forward. Notably, Kobayashi's document implies that creditors seeking to retain their lost funds in Bitcoin may receive larger amounts of cash than those who originally sought to be repaid in fiat currency when the exchange began the bankruptcy proceedings. Now, that's very misleading because I read the document. They're not going to receive cash if they don't want to receive cash. They will receive Bitcoin if they want to receive Bitcoin. And it's got to be the group as a whole. So the group of creditors is going to have to say, we want the Bitcoin. We don't want you to sell the Bitcoin and give us cash. So they wrote that wrong. This guy, Nakisha D, who wrote it for CoinDesk, wrote that wrong, I believe. It states, quote, in bankruptcy proceedings, non-monetary claims are converted into monetary claims based on the valuation as at the time of the commencement of the bankruptcy proceedings. In contrast, in civil rehabilitation proceedings, non-monetary claims are not converted into monetary claims at the time of the commencement of the civil rehabilitation proceedings. Therefore, in the civil rehabilitation proceedings in this matter, claims seeking a refund of Bitcoin will also not be converted into monetary claims after the commencement. So basically, it says exactly that. You can take your claims out in Bitcoin. The document continued saying that the amount of voting rights of Bitcoin creditors for resolutions on the proposed rehabilitation plan is based on the valuation of Bitcoin as at the time of the commencement of the civil rehabilitation proceedings. So basically, they're going to take all the creditors, and this is another thing I'll get to, and they're going to say, okay, let's vote. And then, depending on who's got the biggest vote, who's got the most votes, if they're looking to save the Bitcoin price, they will all vote for getting paid in Bitcoin. If they're not, if like the big whales want to continue the abuse, so they can load up at lower prices, they might say no. We want it all sold, but it will be an open and honest thing, so we'll all know what's going to happen. In other words, MtGox Bitcoin holdings will not be sold as been happening, but can instead be distributed on a pro rata basis. This means that future creditors may receive more than $440 per Bitcoin, a value that comes to the price of Bitcoin proceedings began, a possibility that has previously been a source of controversy. Kobayashi will report on the status of MtGox assets at a creditors meeting on September 26th. Claimants will have until then, October 22nd, 2018, to file rehabilitation, including submitting proof of their claim. A proposal for fulfilling the rehabilitation request will then be submitted to the court in February. This writer is he's not saying what's really happening here, because I read the proceeding, and I'll show it to you in a second. He says, in other words, MtGox holdings will not be sold as been happening, but can instead be distributed on a pro rata basis. Correct. Then he says, this means the future creditors may receive more than $440 per Bitcoin. No, they're going to get their Bitcoin back if that's what they vote to do. This guy's a little confused. Anyway, so one of the questions I had is because I did famously had one Bitcoin, famously in my world, had one Bitcoin in MtGox. I didn't even file. See, that's the other thing. I didn't file in the bankruptcy. I didn't file a petition to get my one Bitcoin back because it was only $400. I wasn't going to waste my time with that. But now Bitcoin's 20,000, or well, it was 20,000. Now it's 6,000, 7,000, 6,000 right now. So yeah, I'm going to file a claim, and that's the key. Another key is you don't have to have filed in the bankruptcy to file in this new the rehabilitation. It's anybody who had a claim, who had an account there, and can prove they had an account there. So yeah, I'm going to file a claim, and they haven't released when the claims. They're going to release a form, so anybody who had cryptos in MtGox that lost and didn't even participate in the bankruptcy, did or didn't, can file a claim with the rehabilitation. So I might get some Bitcoin back. Obviously, I won't get a full Bitcoin because they've already paid out a lot. A lot were lost. A lot were sucked up in legal fees and all that. But I'll get partial Bitcoin back if I can prove my account. I think I still have my login details. Might not. It's a long time ago. But here's what I'm talking about. This is the official release from the trustee. Question number 9. Although I have not filed a proof of claim by the filing deadline for the bankruptcy proceedings, can I file a proof of claim in the civil rehabilitation proceedings? Answer. Those who have not filed proof of claims in the bankruptcy proceedings or who have filed proof of claims after the filing period has passed may file proof of claim in the civil rehabilitation proceedings. We plan to post further details on the website. So yeah, it looks like I can file a proof of claim to get my Bitcoin back, or whatever's left of my Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold and all the. I don't know. I know they're doing Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I don't know if they're all doing all the other crap associated with it. I think it should at the end of the day. Maybe they'll use that to pay expenses. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know how much of the Bitcoin will be left after all this crap that's gone on, lawyer fees and already paid out of creditors. And very interesting, though. I would also like to say, here's another thing that I think why this is being done. One, I think it's being done because I think the good guys want the price of Bitcoin to start flooring out. And this is a good sign that the good guys are saying, okay, we controlled it. If it was the good guys that were, trying to bring the price of Bitcoin down as the bad guys were running it up. That's one theory of what went on. And number two, I think if they are looking for a floor right now, this would be a good way to do it. Obviously, there's so much blood in the streets that by now everybody who was going to sell is going to sell. Is going to sell has already sold, and now it's just manipulators. And I don't know anybody who's selling Bitcoin now. I know a lot of people who are buying or want to buy, but they want to know that the floor is in. So it's going to run up really fast at some point here. But as a hodler, remember, I made the decision to hodl back in December. It was a conscious decision. I didn't think it would last 6 months that I had to wait, but the last time it was 2 years. So, is it a big deal? Yes, it's a big deal for you during that time, but 2 years from now, you're going to be real happy that you hodled away. All right. So everybody's asking about the claim, and where should I send it to? So they're going to post the claim document on the MtGox website. But a really interesting thing is this one, question number 12. I have not disclosed my name or address to MtGox. Will the information on the proof of claim be sent to me? And the answer is MtGox users who have not disclosed their names or addresses to MtGox may not be contacted by the court or the civil rehabilitation trustee. However, we plan to provide the necessary information to the creditors on the website. We kindly ask that you continuously, regularly check the website. So they're going to get your, if you want your cryptos back, they're going to get your name, they're going to get your address, they're going to get the name of your firstborn and your social security number. So you cannot hide if you're saying, oh my God, I didn't file with the bankruptcy court because I didn't want to expose my identity. Well, this isn't going to help you, because in order to get a claim on the rehabilitated Bitcoin, you're going to have to give up your firstborn. So yeah, anybody hiding in the shadows, like I said, the future's not about hiding in the shadows. That's why I think all the privacy coins are going to be attacked by the powers that be. In the good guys are going to say, hey, privacy coins aren't going to work. You can do it, you can have it, but we're going to throw up every roadblock known to man for anybody that we find playing with the privacy coins. Because we don't need privacy, we need honesty. Right? It's not, the problem isn't privacy. In our current system, there's so much privacy. We don't know what goes on at HSBC when they're laundering all that drug money, and we don't know what goes on in the monetary pedophilia rings. But it's not privacy. It's the criminality within the privacy that is bad. And yeah, we need honesty. We need open and honest in this new system, for the most part. That's just my belief. And I think if the transition works, then the powers that be, whoever those new powers that be, with the people watching them, will require openness and will reward openness. You will be part of the new economy, and the privacy coins will be shunned. I don't think they'll be shut down. You can't really shut them down, but I do think that they will not be smiled upon by those of us out there dealing in the new economy. And I don't want people to do bad things, but I'm not the judge and the jury of that. But there will be regulation around this stuff because it's very complicated. And no, I wish there was no criminality in the cryptos, but I know there is massive criminality. So I don't think the regulators are going to smile on privacy coins. But that's just me. And that's just, from analyzing what the good guy, bad guy battle is. I think there is a morality in investing. Absolutely. I think that the announcement by the SEC that Ethereum is not a security now, but it probably was when it ICO'd, is a way to set up a reason and an avenue to um, attack the coins that did not do that, that tried to skirt the SEC rules of what is a security. And I have no doubt in my mind that some of the new blockchains that ICO'd, if they didn't do it by the book, are going to be called out. Now, what does that mean? Yeah, you can go off and you don't have to follow the rules, but don't be expected to be embraced by the crypto community if you're fighting the SEC and the Department of Justice, and that doesn't bode well for the future of those coins. And that's what I talk about in the latest Friday road trip at roadtoroota.com, is which coins are going to survive the morality test, depending on which scenario folds out. Now, if the bad guys win, and that's the flip side. Coins like EOS will absolutely control the world because they can control EOS. It is purely centralized, as was seen when they froze those 7 wallets. It's all you got to do. Delegated proof of stake is whoever has the most cryptos gets to vote in the 21 block producers, and those guys collude to do whatever the bidding of their masters is. It's very much easier to control 21 entities than it is, thousands. So, yeah, I do think there is a morality investment, and I think that will come shining through as the old system fails and we embrace a new crypto system. And I think it'll come shining through in the price of, believe it or not, Bitcoin Cash as well. I think Bitcoin Cash will overtake Bitcoin. The Blockstream people have proven they're trying to centralize and control it, Bitcoin. And I'm not, I feel Roger Ver's pain. He is the Bitcoin Jesus because Jesus was persecuted just like Roger Ver has been persecuted. And then I think people are absolutely wrong. It is a morality issue. And I think the Chinese miners that everybody's afraid of are working with the good guys in China. Because China can shut it down at those miners at any time they want. But those miners have been working with the good guys within the Chinese government, the U.S. government, and around the world. So to help out the co-opting of Bitcoin by the bad guys, the Blockstream guys, in my opinion. Again, everything, when you hear something on YouTube, it's the opinion of whoever's saying it. And don't take it as investment advice, take it as another opinion, right? Okay, it's kind of going on long here, but the good news is that we probably don't have to worry about the MtGox Bitcoin being dumped into the market. Just one of the tools they use to slam down the market. I do think it feels like we're bottoming. Not all coins will be rising from the ashes. I think depending on how it folds out, the collapsing of the old system, I think quite a few coins will die off and never rise again. And I talk about that in the Road to Ruta private road section this week. So if you're interested, go to roadtoroota.com and get the list. I got the list right here. I'm not going to show you the back. No. And I analyzed 35 coins in 5 different scenarios. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this is Bix. We're roadtoroota.com. Make sure you give me a like and send this to your friends. And yay, those MtGox coins are not going to come slamming down on the price of Bitcoin. I'll talk to you later.